Yay, we have a box, folks. A box with a vacuum cleaner in it. This has so far cost me zero because the chap didn't really want any money for it and then wouldn't take any postage for it, although I'm sure in the future we'll have to find a way to remedy that. So thank you very much indeed, sir, for sending me this, which has already got bird poo on it. Well done, Felix. Let's hope he doesn't think the same about the machine inside. And yeah, we'll have a look and see what we've got. Oh dear, I hope it's not too fragile. Let's have a look. Yes, hello, my vacuum cleaner chums. How are you today? Yes, this arrived at the time of filming this. It's the 21st of December. So this arrived this morning just in time for like everything to now shut down. Annoyingly for a couple of days. I don't do Christmas that much, I'm sure you may have noticed, although I do have a tree. It's just over there. You may see a video like February of us playing with it, but I won't say much more because I haven't actually done anything with it. So here we are inside the box. It's very well packaged and I can see some tools. So we'll have a look because these will not give anything away because these aren't from this machine. They are just some random tools and oh goody, another floor tool to add to the collection. Oh, a pretty nice one actually. This is almost a clone of the floor tool that my Moulinet E59 and one of my weird 80s Electrolux come with, sort of its modern incarnation, so that's cool. We have ourselves some wands, some very nice, pneumatic backs type wands, but with excellent cuff ends, very good, very good. We then have what I think is a VAX 60,000 series Moderna hose end with a hose end, and if the title of this entire video didn't give it away, that will somewhere in this bit, here it is, look, is a Hitachi Vacuum Cleaner, a Hitachi CV2000 to be precise. So yeah, sort of ignore all of that. So that is, the perils of collecting our vacuum cleaners. The tools, they do not last. But we have ourselves a cord rewind. It is in a gorgeous brown colour underneath the wheels. It's looking very, very good, folks. There's the credential. Look, CV2000, made in Singapore. Yeah, it's lovely, really. It seems fine. This is how we empty it. This model has a weird thing. If you watch that knob there, as I pull the cable with, it turns. I read about this on a vacuum manufacturer. What that does is that then turns this, which is the filter cleaning mechanism. So when we wind and rewind the cable, you'll hear it. I can hear it. It's quite subtle. That's pretty cool, actually. I quite like that. Inside, well, it is a bagless machine. So, and again, like my flipping stowaway, there's no real way to HEPA flow budget short of, and I'm assuming this will work here, if we plug the hose in. Oh, no, well, yes, actually, because on my stowaway, I've then got a bit of pipe shoved in there, and then a meter bag stuck onto the top, which is great, but you then can't remove the hose. These are bagless machines by design. Here is our filter, and yeah, there's a couple of little tears in it, which is reasonable. We had to glue up the filter on the Hitachi stowaway, but that's only the outer shroud. The inner actual bit that matters is this bit, and it seems much better than the one that was in my, or that is in my Hitachi stowaway. Hold it, set lower end first, then push upper. Well, I don't know which bit that was from, so I'm going to imagine that's for putting it back into here. Set the lower end first, and then the upper. Yep, that seems to work marvellous. So yeah, we have a bagless vacuum cleaner which is going to polish up absolutely beautifully. Do we have a diffuser? We do. Well, this is going to tell us all about how well the filtration will work on these after, you know, many years. This is early 1980s, but hey, that's a pretty decent post-motor diffuser. I can't imagine for a second this is genuine, but I'd imagine a tiny little bit of cheese cloth that may or may not have been in there when it was new has long gone. So that is lovely. I think the next thing we need to do is to turn it on and see if it works. Well, the chord rewind works. I mean, I would say it's a bit slow, but of course it's also turning something else. That doesn't mean it's going to be difficult to take apart and refurbish, but hey, does it need refurbishing at all? Well, I don't think so. Oh yes. Wow. That is astonishingly good. Chunk of wood there, John. I mean, that sounds brand new. That sounds just like your stereotypical, nice, old Hitachi. I have noticed a couple of things though. Number one, sadly the legends are worn off of our buttons. Number two, it's got a bag full indicator. It doesn't work. That's probably fine. Let us put some sawdust down on the rug and try out the tools it came with. Okay, we have a small mess put down. I can't imagine this floor head's going to be particularly fab. But, hey, the vacuum cleaner's fab even when it's off. Oh, a little bit slow, Barry. But very nice all the same. Perfectly fine. Indeed, it's just a typical cheapy floor head. The machine now, oh, she pulls around the trees. Oh. Oh yeah, open the bleed valve, works well. Oh. Yeah, the machine is lovely. The tools, whilst functional, are letting it down somewhat. However, I think we might be able to do something, maybe, about that. Now, the first thing that we're going to try and have a fix of is the hose, because I don't think any of it's genuine at all. Well, or it's genuine but not original, because I don't think this would have had a brown hose. What I am hoping, though, whatever hose this is that this is the bit that we need. Are you just going to unscrew? Uh-oh. This doesn't unscrew. I've got to find a plan B. I don't think it's screwed on at all. I think it's bonded. Grr. Find some way to get through the next step that I want us to do. Oh, it's never simple. Well, I think we'll be saved by pneumatic, and actually finding this hose is quite handy because the cuff on the MBV has cracked. So we'll get that washed up and give that a second go. Yes, I want to change the hose. When we were at Barton's, I picked up these. I know I needed one. I picked up these specifically knowing I was going to get this machine. If it's going to have an incorrect hose, it may as well have a roughly matching incorrect hose. And yes, I was right. These are 32mm hoses. Somebody said that these were like Pattern Electrolux 345 hoses, and that is a possibility. Okay, look. Pneumatic end fits in there, and all of a sudden we have a more matching hose. Oh. It's just got airflow for days. But obviously, you know, we can't do anything with this. So I then also from Barton's, if you remember, we got a couple of these. One is now fitted to my stowaway, the one that clicks on. But these I think these are genuine because, you know, they have the legends and stuff. I don't think the flower means anything. And yes, you can take these off as well because that's how you get to the pivot. But these are screw-on ones. So we don't even have to faff around borrowing stuff from another hose. I can simply screw this on quite tight, and because the pivot is in the other end of the hose, this is now more like what it still needs a good clean, more like what it would have had from new. Hey, love it when stuff works. Now, we then have an even slightly bigger problem. Yeah, these 32mm tools are not going to fit at all. Yeah, I mean, mate, I'll be honest, you didn't need to send me any tools, but never say no to a nice set of wands or an alright floor head, even though it's raining out sawdust. So you can go in the meh pile over there, and yeah, we need to think of something to go on the end of this hose. Now, I have spare these two grey but Hitachi ones, and yeah, they fit on there just like every other normal Hitachi does. And I then also now have a spare floor head. I mean, it's quite used and scuffed up and whatnot, but it is an Hitachi floor head, probably the same Hitachi floor head that would have come with this when it was new, so I have no qualms at all about using it. Yeah, it seems pretty good, and I dare say it's going to be a lot nicer to use as well. Oh, hang on. Oh yeah, brushes were down. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes, folks. How utterly beautiful. However, I still don't think these plastic ones are correct, because there's a service manual for one of these on eBay, which I might buy just because I have the machine it goes with, and it mentions an aluminium telescopic one. Now, of course, I do not have a genuine Hitachi 1980s aluminium telescopic one. However, what I do have is this cheap eBay Chinese 2020 whatever telescopic one, and it's the 35mm one that I was using on the Miele when it was the 12 vacuums in 12 months. But luckily 35mm in reverse is Hitachi, so we can, if we close our eyes and squint really hard, pretend that we have the original aluminium telescopic ones for a Hitachi CV2000. If you've ever seen one of those in real life, please do let me know. They sound jolly interesting. Can't imagine I'm going to miss much by doing this. So if we now put some sawdust down again, we might get a slightly different result. Oh, you've got to push down on the head a little bit. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, I like this a lot. Put the brushes down. This is a nice head for the old hard floors as well. Oh, my gran had a powerhouse in the 90s and it had the same head, and I used to like it then and I like it now. It's nothing special, but it works so well. Same as this vacuum cleaner is nothing special, but it works so well. I mean, it's going to be a cosmetic refurb more than a mechanical one, even when I can be bothered to do that. So I guess this doesn't need to be that high up the pile because it's sort of usable anyway, and it's now sort of better, I think. I mean, it's genuine at least, and I guess it's almost a shame I had to cut this hose apart to get that locking ring out, because heck, I could have kept this as well to have a 32mm, but I think I've got some spare 32mm. If for some bizarre reason we ever want to, we could just swap it back and be fine. So I think we'll stick with the aluminium ones, I'm not going to bother finding any small tools for it because we don't need to worry about that for now. I'll pop these back in my stash unless anybody out there needs a nice matched pair of Hitachi ones, nice and cheap if you're in the UK. Do let me know. And we can now unplug the machine. And I might have to help it because it's obviously been wound up a long time. We can do the thing up. Oh no, that's fine-ish. Do that up, we can take off our nice hose, push down on the latch and that's it. It's not horrendous, I guess. I mean, all the fine dust would have gone through it. It's almost like Morphy Richards tried with the upright that we have, the Perform Air that has its own built-in filter cleaning system. Hitachi were there, the Japanese were there in the early 1980s. Oh my goodness, this is just going to buff up so well. So there we go, my little toy. Thank you ever so much to the person who gave this to me. I'm going to do it proud. I hope we've already sort of got it ready to go because, you know, this floor head could do with, you know, this floor head's fine. But this needs a wash and all of this needs a wash and it will be absolutely fine. I mean, I don't have a nice moulded plug. Some Hitachis came with a moulded plug even as early as this, so that might be quite nice to find. But I haven't got that, although we can actually get my other Hitachi out because I had to get it out to get to some of this stuff, so we may as well. Yes, here is my other Hitachi, my little Hitachi Stowaway, was it 7405 I do believe, yeah, CV2005. Mine, I can't take the hose off because again it's got a little bit of pipe. It's a little cut off bit of plastic one in the end of there, and then I think this is a Goblin handy bag. I don't know, I've got it out of my box of random stuff. It fits in there. I mean, yeah, that's how you'd bag that up. And this sort of almost has the same manual mechanism. But yeah, the reason I've got a bag in this one is that it's seen some repair, which that one doesn't need. It's only the outer shroud on that one. Obviously, you know, look at a shark whose shroud doesn't really do anything and it seems to survive. That one's going to be much better. And yeah, mine, I mean, has a grey hose. Sadly, it's bigger than 32mm, so this wouldn't fit. I've already tried, but I now have, and I have a spare, a non-broken correct fitment as well. End for here, so no more cracked end, although hopefully this one won't go as well. I then have one of the correct coloured ones and one not, and this one should have plastic ones. And then of course, from my haul at Barton's, we have, get it out of the packaging, the brand, well, it was brand new, I have now used it a couple of times, brand new floor head. Yes, obviously this one, it's a slightly lighter shade and whatnot, but brand-ish new, never-ish used, goes for this. I quite like it. This is also a lot louder as well. If I plug it in quickly, you'll see that despite being about the same wattage, it's a lot louder. And then we can take its tiny little cable out, which again I think is the original because it wasn't the plug that was moulded, it was this I was thinking of. This is moulded onto the flex, and because that one has a replacement new plug on it, I would imagine it's possibly been chained and chopped off. Oh, do the cord up on this one. Yeah, this one is also incomplete for now, so we don't have the special tub that it sits on and all of that malarkey, and yeah, taking the hose off requires removing the bag, but unplug you, put you down there. I now have two Hitachi cylinders both of which are quite similar. You can certainly swap the hoses around, and yeah, that's lovely really. I'm just chuffed. I quite like older Hitachi vacuums. So stay tuned because, well, for both of these, because there's some new bits coming for this, and we certainly need to do something about this one day. And obviously this will need to be refurbished and look lovely, and I definitely think we will be using it at some point in 2023 for Vacuum of the Month. And now that this video's gone out, it could be any time now, because you always have to see at least a before video. I don't think I need to do it after for now. I reckon we may as well run it as we bring it. But not now, we have other things lined up. For now, I'm just going to say thank you very much for watching. I hope that you have enjoyed, and I and my 2 Hitachi cylinder vacuums will see you soon. Bye bye.